Welcome back to another episode of Dos Minutos. My name is Amir. We got Ernest from Miami Heat Talk. How are you doing today, Ernest?
Oh, living the dream, my guy. Anytime that I can talk Miami Heat basketball, it's a great day.
Well, I'm excited to chat with you once again. We have a good topic today, but before we get into today's episode, want to make sure that you guys go to Ernest's channel, Miami Heat Talk. He's pushing to 5,000 subscribers. So subscribe to his channel. And then my channel, obviously, Team to Beat Miami Heat. I'm pushing to 2,000 subscribers as well. So it's time to pod, y'all. So, Ernest, for today's episode, I made a video yesterday on this, but I want to talk to you about the ESPN report that came out that predicted NBA win totals for each team. Miami Heat are projected to win 44.5, which is 1.5 games less than last season. We were 46 and 36. So I want to get your opinion on that. And the second part of this video, I want to get your opinion on the Miami Heat's floor for the regular season. So not the postseason, but like, what are your predictions in terms of like the best case scenario for the Miami Heat finishing out the regular season? So what are your thoughts on ESPN's win total for the Miami Heat? Let's start
We're
there.
talking about the same ESPN that predicted that the Miami Heat had a 3% chance to win the 2023 NBA Eastern Conference Finals against Boston, right? That same ESPN? That one?
The
Yeah,
same
okay.
one that is broken now.
Yeah.
Horrible publication now.
Yeah. So here's the thing with ESPN. I could wipe my ass with whatever they have to say. I mean, chances are they're probably right. That does sound about right. The last 2 years, the Miami Heat, we've hovered around that 45, 47 win mark. I get it. I get it. You could look at this Miami Heat team and you could say, oh, that's an eighth seed. The Heat are going to be another play-in team. And then, let's see if they're healthy in the playoffs. Jimmy turns it on and, the Heat can go from there. I will say this, even though that it's partially right, it's possibly something that can happen. Um, let's remember that the main reason why the Miami Heat had all these problems is injuries. So if the Miami Heat are able to keep that afloat, if you're able to get 65 games and more from Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier, we know that this Miami Heat team can do damage, but it's not just with them, it's with the role players as well. And I do feel like that this Miami Heat team does have one of the best role player systems around them going into this season. You drafted Khalil Ware. You have, Kevin Love is coming back. You got Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez. These are all guys that are potentially going to be coming off the bench. So fully healthy, I think this team can maybe win a lot more than 44 games. But honestly, if ESPN predicts something like this, I'm really just going to let it go in through one ear and out the other.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these are just projections. Like, they can't take into consideration all the different variables, of course. Like, they can predict how well draft picks can do based on certain teams getting lottery picks. Like, there's obviously not that many great picks this season, right? Maybe next season when you get like a Cooper Flag, there's going to be more all-star caliber type projected rookies. You could predict the team will do a little bit better based on those types of players, but you don't know how good a rookie's going to do, especially like Khalil Ware, like at the 15th spot, right? You could say he might impact the Heat winning one game or so, but you never know. He could be a rookie of the year candidate. He could be on the all defensive NBA team somehow. Like, you never know. And there's all these injuries as well. So what do you think, though, in your opinion, though, next season, based on the one player we technically added, which was Alec Burks, but also the rookies that we've got, the undrafted guys we're bringing into the system. Terry Rozier going to have a full year under his belt and actually getting to go to a Miami Heat training camp. What are your projections, though, for the Miami Heat for the regular season? What do you think is like the best case scenario for them, like in terms of like what kind of seed they can finish?
Well, best case scenario, I think this Miami Heat team can finish top four. Boston, they're going to be the favorites in the East. You got that five-headed monster in the starting lineup. Their bench is getting, their bench is good enough. That they're the monster. Barring injury, if there's no injury over there, I think Boston can easily get the first seed again. I don't think Philadelphia is going to be as good as people think. I may be wrong, but if you're telling me that adding Paul George to this team with Paul George and Joel Embiid, two guys who really can never stay healthy, and they're another year older, and I saw Joel Embiid just break down last season, man. And now he's even playing in Team USA. So when I saw that, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's just the worst decision.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got the Knicks also, but I think that he could compete up there. Back in 2022, I don't think anybody thought that Miami can be a first seed team. They just got a good collection, talent pool of players together, and they played the right way and they won games. And I don't know, man, like this season, 2024 season, with Terry Rozier going to have a full training camp under his belt, with Jimmy playing for a contract year, with Tyler Hero
Yep.
hearing the constant noise of everyone, and Bam Adebayo coming back for Team USA. I don't know, man. I just got this different feeling about this season. I think it's going to go a little bit better. I think you're going to have a Jimmy Butler who's going to, in his mind, who's thinking, these MFers really think that I don't have it anymore. Okay. I'm not going to sign an extension. Like us Latinos, Cubans say, está bien. You don't want to give me my money? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to show you who the F I am. And then at the end of the season, all y'all are going to be wanting to give me this money. So I just have a different feeling about this season. Now, the ceiling, top four. Top four. You can get home court advantage in the first round. You can put yourself in a good situation in these playoffs. I don't care who we play in the playoffs. Boston, Philly, New York, any of these teams in a 7-game series, I got confidence in my squad. I'm not deluded. I just know that Jimmy Butler can make anybody his bitch in the playoffs.
You are deluded because you're making me deluded because now I believe. I'm the same way. I try to be practical, but then I'm like, God, like the depth of this team, the combination, even though it's not the best elite duo, the combination of Jimmy and Bam Adebayo are still like they're impactful players. Like we've gone far. We've proven that we have a team that can get to the championship. We haven't proven that we can win yet, but also, again, we hate using that excuse, but like we've never truly been healthy ever, honestly. So it's been frustrating. But I don't know. You might be a little deluded thinking that they can win and beat anybody because it's true. Like it's true. Like we gotta have faith. You gotta have hope. You never know. Like you never honestly know when it comes to sports. So to your point about Philly before we close, I agree with you. Like on paper, they look good. If healthy, they could be a really good regular season team, but I'm not worried about them in the playoffs, right? Regular season,
Nope.
it's going to be probably hard for the Miami Heat to leapfrog them unless one of those guys misses a significant amount of time. And it's bound to happen between the two of them, especially with Joel Embiid because he's so big and he keeps having these nagging knee injuries, foot injuries, right, that are persistent. Paul George has
Yep.
had some freak injuries like breaking his leg and whatever, like shoulder injuries, but I agree with you, man. I think they'll be a good regular season team, but nothing to worry about. Like the only team you need to worry about is truly Boston.
Yep.
I don't care about the Knicks. I think they'll still be the 2 seed. I think Sixers will probably be the 3 seed. And to your point, we could probably, I mean, our ceiling is the 4th seed, but maybe even the 3rd because of those injuries that could occur to Joel Embiid and Paul George. I don't think we can get to 2. So I think like you're right, of like top 4 seed somewhere in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
That would
To
be the
me, a
best case
ceiling is
scenario.
top 6. If you can just get the hell out of the play-in, I think that's a win. That's a
I
win.
agree.
And look, another team we're not mentioning, which is crazy, Milwaukee. That's another team. You got Giannis and Damian Lillard coming back for another year. The East is stacked, bro. The East is stacked.
It is.
But I don't care. Like, I really don't care. The only thing that we had against us was size, and we fixed it with Kalel Ware. Is he going to be that change the first year? Maybe not. He's not going to win you a championship, but I will say this: every game in summer league, and he's playing against not just rookies, he's playing against like G League players. He's consistent as hell. That tells me that's a Miami Heat culture player. He's ready to help now, and he's ready to help win. You won't be seeing Bam Adebayo be playing all this power forward position in Team USA if Spo, who's coaching the team, felt like he was going to use this in the NBA. I mean, we call him the best coach in the NBA, guys. Spo's not an idiot. I know he's going to get this figured out. So I'm excited. The ceiling, get the hell out of the play-in. If you get out of the play-in, I'm happy.
Yep. I agree. And we did fix that size issue. Nico only played 42 games. So we do have a 21-year-old who's 6'11", who played 42 games total last season. Imagine if we get him for 65 games and Khalil Ware, who's 7
Yep.
feet, having those, and he's 19 years old. We got
Yep.
not only do we have bigs, but we have young, talented bigs who can do more than just rebound, right? Like
Yep.
Jovic is a point guard essentially, and Khalil Ware can spread the floor. He could shoot. He could do a pull up, mid range, like back to the basket, pick and roll. Sky's the limit, man. So anyway, Ernest, before we hop off, any last words for the audience?
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You got my channel, Miami Heat Talk. You can find me also on Twitter X. Don't forget to like my boy Amir, Miami Team to Beat Miami Heat. Like, subscribe. Don't forget our boys from the Miami Heat Roundtable. You got Martell from Miami Heat Zone Podcast, Trent, Miami Heat Network. Also, you got my boy Anthony DiNardo. Shout out to the boys. We really appreciate your love and support, you guys. Thank you.